playing against the Orlando Magic. We've seen a lot of quality basketball from this Magic team lately. They've gotten the job done in every way possible this season. They're sitting pretty with the best record in the league, East or West. Tonight, two teams that have been very hot as of late. Shaq, when you're facing a team that's been on a tear, what?
Presentation of the NBA live on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan, Mark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, our sideline reporter, the Hall of Famer David Aldridge. We've got a special treat for you folks tonight. Sports writing heavyweight Bill Simmons is in the house. Bill, welcome to 2K Sports.
What an honor. I've been waiting for the invite for years.
And we've been waiting for the acceptance. Thanks for joining us.
Let's do this.
It's the home of the Rockets as we are live from Houston, Texas. And, of course, Amon Shumpert. Team moving on here without him.
What the trade means to me, guys, is they think some of their young players are ready to take on more responsibility. And they're going to be more minutes for guys that weren't seeing a whole lot of them before.
Our starting group for Orlando. We've got Olynyk on the out there, Terrence Ross. Then it's Monroe, and it's Isaac in the 3 spot.
Tell you what, Kevin, Ross covers Brown in a hurry on the nanosecond.
Harden against Ross. 2-drop shot, and Harden lays it in.
He knew what he wanted to do all along. The teardrop.
Here's Money. This came out and saw him pour in at 42. Now, here's Isaac. Over to the lane. Ball up the pass to Money. Takes it off the glass. Money's got his first points in this one.
Yeah, good awareness there. He sees an opening and doesn't hesitate.
Well, it's a thing of beauty watching him tackle defense like that. I mean, they wanted no part of it on that layup.
Now, here's Green. An 11-point game for him in the win against Toronto. Bill, with last year's do-or-die season finale between Minnesota and Denver, final game of the regular season, momentum is gathering for a play-in tournament and for the last 2 playoff spots. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I wrote about this in 07. I called it the entertaining as hell tournament, where basically the first 7 seeds were guaranteed, and the 16 teams that didn't make it out of the 2 conferences, they just went head-to-head, single elimination. And then you have the final 2 games in New York City, and you blow it out, and you have a fun thing with it. I think that Minnesota-Denver game was important, and maybe the solution is, yeah, the 6 seeds guaranteed in each conference, and then you have 7, 8, 9, 10 in each conference, and you just have playing games. You have 7 versus 10, you have 8 versus 9. You do it over the course of a couple of days. Use the TV revenue from that, because you could get good money from that, to maybe shorten the season, which would be, for me, the #1 thing I would change about the league. I think we should have a 70 game season. You can talk me into 76, but there's too many games. But there's too many nights.
Oh, big time throwdown with flavor.
That is just nasty.
The athleticism on that finish.
And that Unleashed Chaos replay presented by Under Armour. Clever habit, giving us a chance to relive that exciting play. A 3 from Harden. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
And Harden right there demonstrated why he's a top-tier scorer. Gets these long shots off.
Down low. Marvelous lead pass and throws it down.
And he just dangles from the bucket after sending that one through.
And you can see which team has the swagger right now.
Well, you know what? You don't want to do too much to get an opponent riled up. You got to be mindful of that.
Timeout call for Rockets. season and a chance here to recap where all the teams in the West sit in the standings. Look at Oklahoma City. They're looking extremely sharp right now, poised in the top spot and playing very well. And checking out Houston, 3.5 back.
And I think for the Rockets, they've stayed right there, just in sniffing distance of the conference leaders. That's a solid accomplishment at this stage of the season.
You know, I thought maybe they'd have it in them to actually join those leaders this season. But you're right, it's still nice work considering where they are.
And Tucker has it in the corner. Bill Commissioner Adam Silver believes the 2K Esports League will have the staying power of the NBA, WNBA, the G League. Pretty powerful comment to make.
And I hope he's right, because I want to be the lead color. I want us to be the team. Why can't it be us, Kevin Harlan?
Are you kidding me?
Let's do that. Cut me the check.
Sign
As Rasheed
me
Wallace
up.
would say, CTC. Cut the check.
Bill Simmons is here.
I'm ready.
Inside, Capella, and the jump by Capella.
Hey, he's not going to mess that one up. Capella, when he's that close, count it.
Orlando leading by 5. Passes it to Ross. Kicks to Bamba. Here's Money. He has 6. To the middle. It's stolen by Capella. Got a piece of it. Here's Money. He lobs it up. And a closer look here at the hustle stats for the Magic.
And it's been about their defense. They're playing with a frenetic pace, putting a lot of pressure on the ball handlers and forcing turnovers.
They've gotten their fair share of points off turnovers so far tonight, too.
Gordon outside. No good on the wing 3.
And close to making the defense pay for something.
Oh, my goodness. Watch out. Really easy to appreciate Isaac, Kevin. I mean, a solid teammate who's always ready to share the sugar.
Harden against Ross. Now here's Harden. Got a lot of room. Last game for the Rockets, they picked up the win against Toronto. And that basket pushes the lead to double digits.
Just impressed with the teamwork out there, setting the table for one another.
5 straight baskets, Greg, resulting from assists. They're playing as one unit out there.
Ross grabs the board.
That's what we're talking about in terms of the activity level defensively. You gotta protect the rim.
Textbook defense all around. Nice job at contesting the shot without fouling. And that's how you do it. Well done.
And that one hits back iron. Rockets trail by 11. Here's Harden on the wing. He is guarded by Ross. Out of bounds, Orlando takes possession.
A moment here to look at the numbers for Money. Over the last month, he has been spectacular. Tops in scoring, first in assists, and he's first in the league in steals per game. Just an incredibly aggressive and tenacious defender.
And his scoring abilities are just so far out of sight. Number 1 overall right now. No one's been able to slow him down or even come close.
Starting to surge here, and we're only in the first quarter.
Yeah, and they've come out strong. I mean, clearly, they've been the better team so far.
Bill, in Houston, if there's one critique of James Harden's game, it's been his defense. But do you think that's changing a bit? We've seen some evolving in his game.
Definitely changing. First of all, he's playing defense, which has been a revelation.
Jeff Bezdelik, I think, has really gotten his fingerprints on it.
Yeah, good name drop too, by the way. I like that. Yeah, you know what changes your defense is being picked apart online in Twitter gifs and YouTube clips and people on video shows on big giant HD screens pointing out that you didn't try on this and that you're a matador. I think that there's been a shaming element of his defense that's actually been successful for him, and I wish we had that in the 80s for Dominique Wilkins and some of these other guys. Maybe if we'd shamed Dominique Wilkins, maybe we would have played better defense.
To the middle. And the layup is good after a nice lead pass.
Hey, we know Harden can score. but he also has great vision.
David Aldridge had a chance to catch up with head coach Mike D'Antoni. David, what do you have to say?
Well, Kevin, he expects their interior defense to be airtight. He said rim protection is something we really do well. Our ability to contest shots allows us to become more aggressive on the perimeter. Makes it a win-win. We'll see if all of that holds up for them tonight. Back to you.
David, thank you. Do you think that's the right approach, guys?
I don't think it's ever wrong to focus on defense first. It sets a tone that can last for an entire game.
Yeah, that's the most surefire approach to use, guys. I mean, because they don't want to get into a shootout today. I mean, if this becomes a defensive battle, they really enjoy that.
And we're seeing some great ball movement out of this group, guys.
Rockets trail by 15. Over to the wing. Fires the three. Rebounded by Isaac.
And not a night he's going to want to remember, just not really able to score the basketball.
The Magic shooting their first free throws of the night right here.
And the season numbers for them at the line thus far are really poor. Something I'm sure they are making a point of this.
And you look at what they shot from the line last season, and it's so much higher. I mean, you wouldn't think it's possible to take such a tumble in the span of just 1 year.
He hits both from the strike. Bill, we know about the love affair you have with the NBA, and you've written about it for so long. Started with the $4 ticket in Boston with your dad.
Yeah, my dad bought season tickets for the 1973-74 Boston Celtics, and it was only one ticket. And I think it was $4 a game, probably like $160 total. And he used to carry me in Indy because they didn't want to pick the babysitter. So I started going to games that year, probably sleeping through a lot of them. And they won the title.
How old were you in
So I was 4.
4 years old.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember anything from that season. The first season I remember is the year later when they lost before the finals to Washington. And then the year later they won the famous finals against Phoenix, the triple overtime game. I was there.
Was Collins on that team?
Collins, Havlicek,
Yep.
JoJo Wade.
Yep.
And I was at the triple overtime game in the 76 finals, was probably the most famous NBA game ever. The kids out there now would nominate like Game 7, 2016 or something. But triple overtime game was the most famous game ever. And I slept through the entire second half of the first overtime.
Oh no.
But then woke up because everybody was standing for the second overtime.
To the inside, Ross. That's it. He's got 2 made now, and he's shooting 2 for 3.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
And up the court come the Magic on the break.
Oh, throw down there, man.
Methodical in their approach. They have absolutely owned this first quarter.
And I tell you what, Greg, they've worked hard for this lead. Their play calling has been superb, and the execution even better.
Another steal. Here's money, guarded by Hart, and stolen by Selleck. And here's Gordon. He's still scoreless so far in this one. Looking to end the run, and the turnover again by Houston. Their last meeting was in Orlando, where they were unable to fight off the Magic.
And really a resounding loss the last time they matched up. They got absolutely manhandled on the boards.
And Greg, you know how it is. At some point, you just got to man up and play with a lot more aggressiveness and toughness and pride inside.
No good there. The Magic go the other way with it.
He's been terrible. Absolutely awful. He can't get it going. His shot isn't there right now. He's got to help him some other ways.
And already with the commanding lead, a terrific offensive performance.
Yeah, and the execution, time and time again, right on point. They're running their offense to perfection.
Bill, the Rockets going into last season, new ownership. Seems like the transition has been pretty smooth so far in Houston.
Yeah, except that they left the title on the table last spring. They came really close. They had big leads in Game 6, big lead in Game 7, and just could not close the door. And that's been a recurring theme for James Harden, for Chris Paul, who missed the last 2 games. And I don't know if they're ever going to have a better chance than that, because you talk about Chris Paul now. He's in the 2005 draft. I think this is his 14th year. And point guards, as they get older, you can still get that 28 to 30 minutes a game out of them, but you're not getting like a top 3 All-NBA team type of performance. And I just wonder if they missed the window.
Zeller finds Harden. Right side, Gordon. 3-pointer. Rebound by Olynyk. Orlando's gone 2 or 3 from deep so far in this game. Pass to Ross. Here's Money. Down low. Shot clock at 6. Back to Ross. The Magic need to get a shot off it. Deflects the pass. Count that one. And that's now 6 points for Mohamed Bamba.
And you can't help but pick their defense apart. They're completely in disarray.
Well, everything's coming too easy. I mean, at some point, defensively, you have to take something away.
44 seconds left in the first quarter. Pass to Isaac. The rim-rattling two-handed jam.
Persistent space. Kevin loves seeing Isaac stay with the play like that, using his height and the high release on those nice finishes.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
Well, this guy packs a nice skill set, Jonathan Isaac. A slender big man who has nice range and is a superb defender already.
Ross against Harden. House kicks to Harden. Carries it from 3-point range. Harden's got 11 points.
He has been fantastic this quarter, guys. It's just the kind of effort they need if they're going to continue to trim the lead.
Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock. And out of bounds as the Rockets getting possession. There's 18 seconds left to play in the first quarter. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up.
Hey, Harden is seeking contact. He is hunting bodies when he drives. He's so good at just getting his body into the path of the defense.
Oh, take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first free throw is good.
And, you know, after being a 6th man during the beginning of his career, Harden has blossomed into a big-time star. He's a top-tier combo guard in this league now.
So he gets them both. 11 seconds left here in the first quarter. Here's Isaac. The teardrop falls in. 15 points in the game.
And, you know, Isaac is a versatile player now. He scores in a lot of ways. You can't allow him to get too comfortable.
And so it's the Orlando Magic out there all by themselves with a 32-point lead to end the quarter. From the field, they have been outstanding, amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. We'll return shortly. Now a chance to hear shooting guard Eric Gordon talk about their key to winning.
It's all about not making mistakes, getting rebounds, and getting good stops to really push the pace up. And I think when we do that, we always are at our best.
And Greg, nowadays it's all about pushing the pace.
And it's an offensive-oriented league now. When you execute and really look to attack, it puts the opposition on their heel.
And so far, through one quarter, it's been a lopsided game. We'll see if that changes here in a second. And for the Magic here, they've been putting on a show, guys.
Playing smart in this first period. Credit their unselfish play.
Yeah, and you know, that cohesion is really impressive, Greg. I mean, they know how to get each other going, feed off of each other, and that's crucial.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups. Courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. So on the floor for Houston, Harden and Gordon, the guards in. Nene is out there with Cody Zeller, and it's House in the small forward position. Billy, you've done quite a few player interviews over your life, and I'm sure there are some guys that have surprised you with what they've got to say.
Yeah, I think we're in a really cool generation with basketball players where there are these really thoughtful guys who aren't afraid to share stuff. You know, some of the guys try to protect their images and their kind of their manufactured reputations, I would say, to some degree, but for the most part, the candidness of some of these guys, you can't hide on a podcast. If I have you for an hour, you're not going to be able to dodge stuff. You're going to have to.
You challenge people, which is that's the beauty of the podcast.
Well, and I don't have notes, so I do it. I'm looking at you, you're looking at me, and we're going. And you gotta be ready.
That's how Larry King used to do it.
Yeah. So some guys are ready. Like Durant was great. Durant was ready to talk. We did 5 podcasts, and everything's on the table with him. But my favorites are, you know, somebody like Kyrie came in, really smart, kind of sort of ready to go, but not totally, but then got into it. And those are usually the best ones.
Yeah, that's the third bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle.
Here's Money, guarded by Harden. Here's Money. Bamba kicks to Olynyk. Ross passes to Money. 6 to shoot. It's rebounded by Houston. I want to get back to what we were chatting about, Bill, with how today's NBA players are so media ready, whether it be interviews or social media. Your take is really interesting.
I think in general, all these guys, the guys now are so used to talking to people, being in front of people. You know, they're not surprised by questions, and they know how to handle themselves. They know how to not get in trouble, and they're comfortable.
Maybe they've grown up with you, though, too. You know, you've been relevant for many years. Well, they've grown up with your stuff.
To be honest, a lot of them just know me as the white guy on NBA Countdown. For that's like that. They might not have read me, but they remember like the year I was with Jalen Rose. You know, but what's weird is
I think you'd be surprised.
Well, you know this too. When you're on TV, the credibility you get from being on TV, I wasn't prepared for within the NBA.
Oh, really?
I think that's true. Yeah. I think it's like, oh, he's on TV, he's okay. And maybe they don't agree with you all the time, but you pass some imaginary checkpoint with those guys.
Well, you may think that TV was your validation. This is going to be your validation.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
This is it. I'm stamping it right now.
This is better than winning a Pulitzer Prize.
Okay. TTC. Let that check.
Your books have been bestsellers. How did it feel to see your work so well received around the world?
I think I was really happy that the basketball book did well because I spent a long time writing it, and it was 700 pages. And when it got mailed to me, it was so big, I thought people would just be terrified of it. And, you know,
I think they embraced the
I think they did. They liked it. I designed it for people to be able to put on their toilet or bring on an airplane or whatever they wanted to do with it. But I was always amazed that there wasn't a basketball book that tried to kind of group all these other books and some of the opinions and all the misinformation. Like the fact that, honestly, the reason I wanted to write the book was just that people thought Will Chamberlain was better than Bill Russell. And yet every single thing written in the 60s was that Bill Russell was better. And all the players would say Bill Russell was better. And when they played together, Bill Russell's team won. So it's like, how do we get to the point where people think Will Chamberlain was better? So it was that and some other stuff that we were doing with the book.
And the Rockets making a change here.
I'm the best.
Good on the second free throw. Orlando's gone 3 of 4 from long range in the game. Here's Isaac, and another assist.
That makes 15 assists.
He's been one step ahead of the defense all game long. The Rockets have gone 50% from the floor in the second quarter, 3 of 6. Outside, Green. Here's Nene, kicks it out to Harden. Drains it from beyond the arc. Harden's got 8 here in the quarter.
And let's see, guys, if that triggers another little explosion from him after hitting 3 triples in that first quarter.
Here's Ross. It's rebounded by Houston. And the Rockets last season, first team to ever shoot more threes, Bill, than 2s.
Yeah, is that a good thing?
It's more interesting to watch. Percentages are a little skewed.
To watch if you're 7 years old or if you love basketball like us. I don't know.
It's
I
fun
still
to
love
call.
the backside.
Yeah, I agree.
This is the society we're in now, right? Like people love home runs, they love 3-pointers.
Big shots.
I will never in my life get used to watching guys on a 3-and-2 fast break go to the corners versus go to the basket.
And that's what Houston does.
And that's what Houston does, and mathematically it's the right move. But I still kind of like layups sometimes.
You're a traditionalist.
I like the straddle traditionalism versus the new math. I get the new math. I don't understand shooting 45 threes in a game. Just, what is that? It's just a new form of basketball.
It is. Orlando moving the ball around. Here's Money. That shot missing. Some solid defense there by Nene. Houston's gotten into trouble with the 3 ball in the second quarter. Only hitting 1 of 5 attempts. Harden outside. For 3. Another miss by Houston.
And even without that 3-ball dropping, the defense should have done more on that last play. And a good example there of why it's important to change ends quickly.
Vitally important. I mean, if you relax for a second, you're cooked. You're toast. They learned that lesson there.
A 3 ball. Houston gets it back. There's Green with the 3. That one's no good. 0 of 1 to begin the game. Here's Money.
Yeah.
And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
Man, this is what you want to see more of from Bomber, making an effort to share the rock.
Here's Harden on the wing. The Rockets again can't hit.
And there have been some terrible shot choices here, Kev. That's not a good look at all.
Here's Money, and Capella sends it back.
Over a 7'4" wingspan for Clint Capella. That's long, folks, and makes him an intimidating shot blocker.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Yeah, rebounding has been a big key in this one, Greg. They've asserted their will and have taken control on the glass.
Kenneth Fareed, he's checked in for Nene. And so it's Harden bringing it up for the Rockets. Following this one, they get to host the Pelicans. That'll be the last of 3 straight at home for the team. That one's good, just his 3rd make. Brings him to 3 for 8 in this game.
Nice looking floater there, Kevin. Such a fast shot, a quick release. Really hard to guard that.
Here's Money. He's got 36. Hands it from downtown. Money's got 39.
Defense has no answer for him. I mean, none. They look completely lost. He's been on fire.
And that's basket number 4. He's taken 9 shots to this point.
And not a great start for him in the first, but he's quickly starting to turn it around.
And Capella sends it back. Stolen by Bamba. Here we go, 1-on-1. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
A chance now to see the numbers for Olynyk. His last 10 games have been exceptional. He's putting up about 20 points per game, 11 rebounds, and 5 assists. And his playmaking really stands out, making his teammates better offensively with his terrific passing.
Yeah, he's outstanding at controlling the tempo. I mean, keeps the ball moving, and of course, finds the open man.
He makes 1 of 2 that time. The Orlando Magic coming to this one after the win against the Washington Wizards. And it's Capella missing.
Highlight reel play all the way, just can't connect.
I thought the pass looked good and just came up a skosh short, but I like the initiative and the intention.
Orlando's gone a very strong 4 for 5 from three-point land in the ball game. Nice shot there by Bamba.
Crucial that Bamba keeps evolving his perimeter game. Big men like him have to be able to shoot it.
Another turnover again by Orlando. A chance here to take a moment and compare the front court and back court scoring on the night for Houston.
And their guards really have done what they could to keep it close. What little offense they've been able to generate has come from the backcourt. They just need a little more balance.
They've been a little too casual with the ball out there.
Yeah, but you can't force that square peg into the round hole. Oftentimes, you just got to make that first simple pass and get a rhythm from that. And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it, too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
And the shot is good. Orlando's got a terrific 5 of 6 from beyond the arc in this game. There's the pass to Isaac. Oh, and there's the alley-oop. And the dunk by Bamba. And that's a double-double for him now. 11 points and 11 rebounds. The Rockets shooting has been a little ragged, just 38% from the field. Rockets shooting 35% so far in the second. They need to move the ball around more and find better looks. And 3, kicks to Harden. 5 to shoot. Shoots the 3. And it's Orlando with the rebound. Isaac's got rebound number 7 for him tonight. Passes to Money. Takes the 3. And he's good on the 3 ball. Money's got 45 points.
They're getting a lot of their points outside the paint. 3 of their last 5 baskets are from three-point range.
It's deflected. They push it up. 4 on 3. Hangs in the air. And it's laid up and in by Ross. Ross has got 6.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Really a prime example of the difference in how these teams have operated offensively. Much more individual play at the other end.
And the stroke definitely lacking confidence this quarter. Nothing on target.
And again, it's Orlando with the 3.
And they've just been so comfortable at both ends of the floor. I mean, you'd almost think they're playing at home.
And the confidence really at a high level. Very impressive. They feel like this game is theirs, dominating right now.
Hey, Bill, thanks for coming by. Fantastic stuff as usual. We really appreciate your time.
Appreciate being on Go Celtics.
You can't root on these people.
I'm absolutely rooting. That's my team.
Hey, Clark, always great to have Bill with us. A content creator who really taps into what the audience is thinking.
Could not agree with you more. Amen to all of that, Kevin. He's got a very loyal fan base and readers and viewers that share his vision, not just on sports, but on life. And that strong connection he has with them is admirable. And this guy, to me, embodies determination. Small in his position, but he still gets up and keeps plays alive. That's mind over matter for sure.
Here's Olynyk. And it's in. Basket number 6 for him thus far. He has only missed 2 shots from the floor.
His shooting has been outstanding. Definitely one of the reasons they're up in this game.
And here's Harden for 3. A 3-pointers right on target. Harden's got 11 here in this quarter alone.
And what a huge performance for him. I mean, he drained 3 3-pointers in that first quarter, and he's got 2 more here in the second.
2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Money passes to Olynyk. Hammers the alley-oop through.
And they like him to be aggressive. And I think Olynyk has the talent to be a difference maker offensively.
Harden takes to Capella. Harden. On deep three-point range, and the last shot at the buzzer doesn't go in for him. A dominating first half of basketball, and so far hasn't been close. Magic out in front, just dominating this one. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Kevin, thanks. Here with Coach Steve Clifford. Steve, what's the focus going into the second half?
The big thing is they've got so much offense, and they have so many guys who come in and score. You got to play every possession defensively, and it's got to be every single possession.
Coach, thanks very much for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow. Right here on 2K Sports.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, it's good to have you back. You're watching the 2K Sports Halftime Show. This right here is Kenny the Jet Smith. This right here is Shaquille O'Neal. I'm just out in front of the half is Orlando. They are completely in control of the game, leading by a massive amount. Kenny, what's your take?
They're going right to the rim, finishing every chance they get. The D was helpless trying to stop them and beating them inside. I love the relentlessness and the aggressive style. This is how you impose your will on another team.
Shaq, how'd you think the Rockets were playing?
Well, they were playing like it was Christmas, Ernie. Giving up a lot of turnovers. There's no excuses for the turnover numbers, sloppy ball handling. They looked out of control, and the execution was all over the place.
That about wraps it up. Time now for the second half of the game. We go to Kevin Harlan for the call.
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. What a game we're seeing from Money.
His points production thus far off the charts. It's only been 2 quarters. Just a great effort for him for the entire half.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter where he is on the floor either, Greg. He's making it look very easy. He's looking to score the ball.
And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. We try to stop, pull down, combat great offensive play. Clark, in your eyes, what are the keys to great team defense to do that?
Yeah, there are a couple of things, Kevin. One is communication, attention to the detail of what you're trying to minimize or take away. Good offensive teams, you're not going to be able to take away everything, so you try to prioritize what you're going to take away. And then just a collective commitment to communication and to helping each other, because you can't do it at a high level by yourself when you're facing a really good offensive team. Everybody has to be on board and locked into what you're trying to get done defensively.
On the court for Orlando, we've got Money. Kelly Olynyk is out there with Jonathan Isaac. Then it's Terrence Ross, and it's Bamba in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And Kelly Olynyk is going to pick up the foul. That's his first foul. And for those of you turning in, we're about a minute into the second half. Cabela kicks to Green. Here's Tucker. Trying to answer back, but that three is off the mark. Here's Money. And there are the Magic with another bucket.
Just increasing their advantage, and right now they're in a zone on both ends.
Yeah, you know, it's got to be terribly deflating for the opposition. Boy, they look helpless. Really getting beat up, physically and emotionally.
There's Green with the three. Another miss by Houston. Magic shooting has been sensational. 75.
Wow. We are going to remember that one for a while.
I know I will, Greg. That was special. That was really special.
A circus dunk for you right there, guys.
To the left side wing. Harden surveying the D. Hangs. And the layup is good. He's got 14.
finally they get one to drop. That's one of their first 4 here in the third.
Here's money. And Capella sends it back. They recover it. Good work there as it goes.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash mouth physical basketball, guys.
Second half of play with just under 2.5 minutes gone.
Sharp pass to set up that high percentage shot in close.
Magic have gotten 4 of their first 5 second half shots to fall. 80% since the break. And another assist. And that's his 20th assist. Wow.
Just doing a great job at orchestrating the offense.
The Rockets have gone 2 of 5 shooting here in the third quarter. Harden kicks it to Tucker. And a miss there on the triple. Magic have gone 5 of 6 so far from the field in the second half. Tremendous efficiency. Here's Baba and the dunk by Baba.
And beginning to pull away. Really effective play calling halfway through this one.
Well, you know, you got to give them credit. I mean, they flipped the switch, and they're not looking back now.
And we're going to have a jump ball. It's tied up there. And so here is Houston. There's the dish to Harden. Takes the 3. Offensive rebound. And the dunk by Capella.
I love how Capella stays alert on the offensive board, creating second chance opportunities thanks to that activity.
The Magic have gotten 6 of their 7 shots to go down in this quarter. What a fantastic start to the half. The feed to Ross. That's to Money. He kicks it to Bamba. Here's Isaac. And again, it's Orlando with a 3.
Oh, great ball movement there.
And it's Harden with the ball for Houston. He dishes it to Capella. Ross with a steal. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
And, you know, with his athleticism, you'd like to see Ross attacking the defense like that.
And, guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the Magic.
The activity level defensively, I've really been impressed with. They've been an attack mode on the defensive.
Take a break. Another factor here tonight has been the amount of points they've scored off turnovers.
First free throw is good. Clark, you once worked for the Indiana Vice President, Player Relations, and really had your fingerprints on a lot of part of that organization. Could you see yourself going back to an NBA front office role?
I don't anticipate that. I love what I do as a broadcaster. I really feel as though I'm right where God wants me to be. Currently had a wonderful tenure with the Pacers, 32 years between playing, broadcasting both radio and television, then 4 years in the VP of Player Relations role. Phenomenal relationships with a number of people, but no, I think that chapter for me is in the rearview mirror.
I speak for everyone playing the game, watching the game. We're glad you're in broadcasting, I'll tell you that.
Thank you, partner.
House kicks to Gordon. Dishes it to House. Here's Tucker. The Rockets again can't hit. On offense, here are the Magic. They're on a 20-6 run. And out of bounds as the Rockets gain possession.
And that's just carelessness there. I mean, you have got to have your head in the game.
The Rockets have gone a lackluster 3 of 9 for the field since halftime. At the elbow, Zeller. And the dunk by Zeller.
You always hear about chemistry. That's a perfect example, knowing where each other is at all times.
Here's Money. Non-stop scoring machine here. It's tipped. Gordon against Ross. To the paint. And he could not get them one to go. Out of contact. And he'll go to the line for 2. And you look at James Harden, Coach Mike D'Antoni, and the Rocket front office. It really does seem like a match made in heaven.
Yeah, I think the alignment of the front office and coaching staff really in harmony. And a star in Harden is the best in the world at delivering in that system. Chris Paul part of the mix too. That's a pretty good fit, it looks like to me.
So he gets them both. Orlando's gone 2 of 2 from long range in the third quarter so far. Here's Money, and he banks in the layup. Money's got 53.
No, it's scary because he's just been a matchup nightmare in this game. He's eaten up anybody they've thrown at him.
Here is House. He's still scoreless so far in this one. Outside Gordon. There's the three. And Bamba pulls it down. Well, Orlando's shooting has been wild. 76%. That's just unbelievable. Here's Ross. From down in the low post, it goes. Ross has got 15 points.
Well, we know that T. Ross can get it going. Part of the 50-plus club in terms of scoring the basketball.
Kicks it to Gordon. Tucker with the ball. He's against Olynyk. That one falls. Here's Money. Stolen. Pass to Tucker. Here is House. He's covered by Isaac. The shot by House is no good.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
Well, that's a devastating miss there. You got to convert on these easy layups deep inside.
Count the bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist. House has got his first 2 points.
Boy, I like seeing the ball get to that spot. Reminds me of my days doing work down there. When you have this kind of position, scoring is simple.
Gordon with it. He's been a reliable scorer for him as he's averaging up over 13 points a game. It's going to be out of bounds. The Rockets will retain possession. Here's what the Houston Rockets schedule looks like. On Tuesday, they'll be facing Drew Holiday and the New Orleans Pelicans. And then on Friday, they'll be taking on Paul Millsap and the Denver Nuggets.
And that game against the Suns, that's going to be one where it would take a lot of errors and maybe a cold shooting night for things to go wrong. They just have that much of an advantage over that team.
The Rockets making a switch here. Fareed is checked in. Gordon deciding where to go with it. It's tipped. Here's Money. What an incredible scoring display he has put on tonight.
Hey, the terrific instinct and timing that Fareed has, coupled with his reach, lets him block a lot of shots. Well, you know, one of the things about Mike D'Antoni is that he's an excellent offensive mind, but he gives his players so much confidence. His defensive reputation is not as strong, but with the Rockets last season, they actually were a lockdown team at times. D'Antoni answering those critics about not being a defensive-minded coach.
Frazier, he's checked in for the Rockets. And D'Antoni back in the catbird seat after some difficult seasons with the Knicks and the Lakers.
Yeah, I love Mike D'Antoni. Love how he comments and interacts with the media and how he handles his team. He's got a team committed to shooting the long ball, and he gives his players a lot of freedom and confidence.
The Rockets again can't hit. Orlando's gone 2 of 2 from long range in the third quarter so far. That one goes. Count it. Money's got 55.
Well, this is what he likes to do. Try to break your spirit.
Yeah, I think he's trying to put this one away, quite honestly. I mean, it feels like he can lay it up against any type of defense, and he can't.
That's going to be over and back. Not watching for the line that time. Clark, over your many years in the NBA, you've seen labor unrest, but per the most recent CBA, we have the potential for a decade-long stretch now of labor peace.
And I think that's great for all sides. And you've got to recognize that some of the unrest in the past was really necessary to get to this place where we may have labor and league peace for the next decade. I mean, there's no justice without struggle. There's no smooth sailing without some bumpy sailing at times. So credit the league, the Players Association, and the players for getting to this place now where the league is doing well in all measures and the game is healthy and good. But that's a team effort by all involved.
And missing opportunities here to extend that lead at the free throw line this half.
Frazier, the pass to Zeller. Gordon kicks to Frazier. From the arc. The shot, no good. And so it's Ross. He brings it up for Orlando. Here's Money. The pass to Olynyk. Over for Reed. And a little luck that time, but it drops. 18 points for Kelly Olynyk.
And he is pouring it on here offensively. Olynyk looks to be warmed up.
Now here's Frazier. And that's a foul called on Money. That's his third foul of the game. Passes it to House. Pocket 6. Back to Zeller. And here's Gordon from outside.
You know, Kevin, this team is struggling a bit right now. I mean, I hope he can find his rhythm and start making the shots out there soon. Otherwise, ...
Out of bounds as Orlando keeps possession. Houston on D. Here's Money. And again, it's Orlando with a three.
And they're really in a good position here, thanks in part to the way he's been able to score the basketball. They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Frazier. Houston gets it back outside. House. And that one is off. That's Orlando's ball. They're rolling here with a 9-point run. Count that one from Isaac. Isaac's got 28 points for the game.
And Isaac, really a big-time player on the interior. When he's near the basket, he's looking to score the ball.
Another steal. And again, 60 points. This guy cannot be stopped.
They've had no answer for him in this one.
There's a minute 34 left in the third quarter. Ball's knocked loose, and they're pushing it up. Here's Money. Again, what an avalanche. That's 62 points. 62.
Amazing. A remarkable performance from him so far.
Frazier dishes to Gordon. Fareed at the elbow. Misses off the right eye.
And they just tried everything to stem the tide here, but nothing seems to work.
Yeah, they can't find anything. They're lost right now. Everything working against them.
And you can see the play calling this half. Another one from distance.
Well, they're dialed in, locked and loaded from outside the arc. It's all about the triple so far.
Wow, he doesn't make plays like that very often. That's a nice move inside.
Ross finds Olynyk to the wing on the left. Here's Isaac. And again, it's the Magic from deep.
Three-pointers are killing them at this point, and they haven't been able to respond at the other end.
Yeah, and Greg, you know, the only way that's going to turn around defensively is by stopping the outside shot, not getting into a shootout. They're not going to out-shoot out this team.
And Frazier with the basket on the assist by House. Frazier's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Boy, the defense looked helpless there. I mean, he's going to lay it up every time when he's got a smaller defender on him.
Here's Money. Played in with a nice touch off the glass.
They are just killing him on the interior.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
Back to Frazier. The three. Another miss by Frazier. And so it's the Orlando Magic enjoying the kind of gigantic lead you almost never see. The three-point shooting has come fast and furious to the tune of what has become a big-time blowout in progress. We come back after this. And now we take a look back to Mike D'Antoni talking to his team from the huddle.
Our whole problem is energy. Our whole problem is how fast we can run back how fast we can turn around, how much we toss, how much we make multiple efforts. Nothing about what you guys' ability. It's about heart and soul and brain.
Oh, you're not being aggressive, Greg. You risk getting burned.
And right now, that's what's happening. And Coach D'Antoni isn't pleased in the least bit.
And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. Harden out there with Frazier. Then there's Nene. And it's Clark in at power forward. That's the 5 for Houston right now. Here's Money, guarded by Harden. Mark, it always seems that coaches get fired a lot, and there's kind of the rotating names there. But the GMs who hire them stay in place. What's your take on that?
Yeah, you know, it's fairly complex, Kevin. I don't know if we have enough time to delve in it effectively here, but my initial feeling is every circumstance is a little different. And sometimes it's a little easier to move the coach than the general manager for whatever reason. But there should be more accountability for GMs, not just for who they draft, but also who they hire as coaches. So I'm mixed, but I kind of understand why sometimes the coach is a little more readily expendable.
Remember, he played the point guard position for most of high school, so Olynyk has retained that vision.
Here's Harden. That one good for 2. Harden's got 26.
And scoring the ball comes easily and naturally to him. He's a versatile player at the offensive end.
To the inside. Another possession, another assist. The chemistry he has with his guys is impressive.
Keeping his head on a swivel, actively seeking out his teammate.
Pass to Frazier. And we've made our way through just over a minute and a half in this fourth quarter. Orlando, they've gotten all 3 of their shots to drop here in the fourth quarter. They came out of the break on a roll.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
Harden can't hit.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Here's Ross. And again, another assist.
25 assists. What an unselfish performance.
He has been a sensational playmaker. Knocks it loose. And up the court come the Magic on the break. Trips down the breakaway slam.
Ross has earned his reputation as a team-first guy. Excellent at distributing the ball.
We're in the fourth quarter here, just under 2.5 minutes gone. Ross against Harden, over to the left wing. Here is House. Back to Nene. Shot to stop the run. Rebound by Olynyk.
My goodness, how about that miss? I mean, that's 2 easy points that they just given away.
And the dunk by Bamba.
And that pattern continues, guys. Another heat check, another log on the fire.
Well, they're scorching right now. I mean, the defense has to be concerned. Nothing they're doing is stopping this run.
Harden outside. For the 3. He can't get that one to fall. The Magic go the other way with it. Bamba.
And it's nice to see Bamba finding his groove. When he's in sync, he feels like he can make any shot.
Look at the clock. A little under 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth. Harden kicks to Nene. Frazier outside. Look at rebounding now, Clark. Teams relying less on one guy and more on collective team rebounding, especially, it seems, on the defensive end.
Yeah, and you think about it, Kevin, with the space and pace game, positionless basketball, if you will, or versatile basketball that takes place, more guys are spread out and away from the goal. Bigger guys are not always camped in the lane, so everybody's got to rebound the ball, more so today than in past decades, because, again, the three-point shots are coming at a rapid rate. Longer rebounds are available now, so everybody's got to be attuned to rebounding the ball.
Here's Money, guarded by Harden. Here's Money to the middle. And here's Frazier. Here's House. And it's sent back by Isaac.
What a wingspan Isaac had. I mean, this guy is incredible at denying shots, and he loves to do it.
Here's Harden.
Ross is very dependable as a defender, somebody who uses his length and quick hands to bother shooters.
He got it again. Sensational.
And that's 70.
He's unbelievable. And it's Harden with the ball for the Rockets. And that's a foul called on Money. That will get him his 4th foul of the game.
And that's his 4th, and no doubt he would have liked to have not gotten it this soon.
Here is Harden. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively, for sure.
To the middle, here's Frazier, and they pick up 2.
And he's showing signs now of life after going scoreless through the half.
On offense, here are the Magic. They're on a 19-6 run. Money passes to Olynyk, so another turnover for Orlando. A floater, and Bamba pulls it down. Inside. And Olynyk takes to Isaac. Here's Ross. Rockets with the rebound. Here is House. And as it goes out of bounds, Houston able to keep the ball. Olynyk with the steal, and now Orlando on the break. Fouled in the act of shooting, gets the bucket anyway, so a 3-point play chance for him.
And when you can outscore your opponent in transition, that's always going to work to your advantage.
Hey, that's a big piece of the pie when you're talking about winning basketball, fast break points. I mean, because most of the time, those are easy hoops.
Mark, an interesting aspect of the one-and-done controversy. Increasingly, these guys are being asked to take on a big role in the NBA right away.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? I'm all for guys that have the unique ability and opportunity to play pro basketball out of high school or after 1 or 2 years of college. I would love to see college kids hang around for 2 or 3 years, but that's not realistic for the supremely gifted. But it does put pressure on your teams if you're expecting these young guys to come in and impact winning right away. It takes a little time, most cases, for even really highly talented players to become winning NBA players.
Just 5 on the clock. They get it back, and slam dunk by Nene.
And guys, that's his game. I mean, battling in the paint and cashing in on those second chance opportunities.
And for cashing in hard. I mean, man, oh man, he puts an exclamation point on that dunk.
Yes. Guys, that's the only way he knows how to do it. Soft, I don't even think is in his vocabulary.
There's the dish to Frazier. Tipped away. Here's Money. That's another bucket.
What a game. That's 72 points.
He's been simply, Greg, sensational throughout this one. Houston's gone 0-3 so far in the 4th quarter from long range. Pass to House. A 3. But they'll get another chance. Six on the shot clock. Houston needs to get a shot. Rebounded by Isaac. Isaac's got 9 rebounds in the game. Getting it done.
And Isaac is a nice passer. I mean, he senses when his guys are ready to shoot the ball and gets it to him quickly.
When you look at player contracts today, Clark, a little different from the one after you signed your rookie year. What, 4 years and $1 million? Do I have that right?
Yeah, you got the numbers right, Kevin. You know, I look at that as all relative. How about the guys who played way before me?
Right.
And they were traveling on trains to games and were working jobs during the summer. I mean, it's all a function of the revenue generation of the league, which has grown exponentially. Since I played, we were part of the group that actually saw the first salary cap instituted in the early 80s. So growth is part of what we see now in player salaries, and I'm all for the guys to get what they deserve from that standpoint.
The pass to Money. There's the lob to the hoop. That shot, no good.
Highlight reel play all the way, just can't connect.
I thought the pass looked good and just came up a skosh short, but I like the initiative and the intention.
The Rockets again can't hit. Well, Orlando shooting the lights out in this one, 77%. 2 points, that one goes.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
And Greg, you know nothing makes a coach happier than selflessness on the basketball court.
Stolen by Bamba. Here's Money, and he goes in for the dunk.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
And that's exactly the way to do it too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
Frazier against Ross. Snatched up. Here's Nene shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Muscle Nene brings on both ends. Man, he knows how to use it too. A guy you don't want to fool around with at all.
You know, Clark, when you think about it, all fans really care about is winning, and that's hard to pull off when you're the only star on your team. We see it all over the league.
You know, basketball is not tennis or golf. It's a team game, and one man can't win a championship by himself. I mean, when you look at all the championship teams, they were championship teams, not driven by just one star player. And it's a blessing when you can play with other good players, and that's what all good players desire to do at some point in their career.
Good on the second free throw. Here's the Magic now. Here's Money. Goes up on the wing. And the rebound goes to Nene. Nene's got rebound number 9 now. What an effort here tonight. To the inside. Lead pass was put in just the right spot.
It really does make the game easy for your teammates when you can lead them to the rim that well with a pass.
Here's Money.
You know, when he's got room to lift off, he's going to power home these alley-oops. Jonathan Isaac. You got to keep an eye on him, folks.
So far, we've seen them be a bit careless with the ball.
Simply put, out of control is how they play thus far. They're going to have to reel it in.
He sucks the ball away again.
He's making history, tied for 3rd most steals in a single game.
Incredible tenacity. He continues to hound the ball.
Yeah, easy call.
Yeah, you can hear the smack all the way over here where we are.
Clark fast break fundamentals, center the ball, run 2 wings on each side, have another guy set up from outside, last guy trailing. We don't see that much convention.
No, we don't, Kevin, and I'm chuckling because I know it grinds the gears of a lot of basketball purists, mine included. I really don't like to see guys
having another steal.
Just a suffocating defensive performance.
And he's made history, GA, a new 3rd place mark for most steals in a game.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for Orlando.
As one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
In what's been a good season already, tonight's win will take their record to 50 wins, a big milestone here tonight.
Really, they had their number this season. 2 wins, a home win, and an away win.
Yeah, you know, I thought the result might be a little different this time around, but clearly I was mistaken. And now they'll have to wait till next year for a shot at revenge.
The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for money.
He did it all tonight, making an impact with more than just his scoring. How about the fact that he got a triple-double?
Rebound by Olynyk. Orlando's gone 2 for 2 from three-point land to start the fourth quarter. Here's money. And then he pulls it in.
Good interior D there prevents the deuce.
And, you know, that's not easy at all. When guys get this close to the bucket, it's tough to stop the basket.
Floats one. He lays it in.
A splendid release on the floater. When executed correctly, it's a beautiful, effective shot.
There's 31 seconds left in the game.
Yeah, with this lead, that's probably going to do it. Fans heading for the exits.
And Greg, you know how hard it is to win on the road, but they seem to have this one firmly in control and have been very impressive today.
Mind the lane. Mind the lane. One shot.
Now Harden. Shot and game clock separated by 5. Ross against Gordon. Just 5 to shoot. Trying to find Harden, and he's got it now. Yep, it counts.
So fun watching Harden operate inside near the rim. I mean, his confidence level is high, and he does a really good job getting ideal position.
And so it's Orlando taking this one by a big margin. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less.
And that's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and David Olden, this is Kevin Harlan along with our terrific 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.